Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are having a great week. Impromptu kind of live here. Didn't give a lot of heads up notice about this. Didn't really pump it. Um, just kind of wanted to take an opportunity, and maybe you could check this out. Pre-recorded. Um, Wanted to start talking about artificial intelligence. Wanted to start dipping my toes into the topic of artificial intelligence. One of the things that I find interesting about artificial intelligence is that you know uh, I think it's here to stay. I don't think that we're going to get away from it. I don't think that we are going to be able to deny artificial intelligence. I don't think that it's something that we can just wish away. I think it's here to stay. Um, it might be scary for some people. It might be creepy for other people. It might not be any of those things for some of you. I hope that you find it as exciting as I do. A little bit of background about why I'm interested in artificial intelligence. Mainly, I'm interested in it for its educational applications. We'll take a look today, a little later, about how to use it to create some different aspects to an education, like creating a course. Like if you're working on a syllabus or trying to make a quiz or trying to make a test or deciding. And Chat GPT in specifics is the area that I'm going to be researching. But I'm going to be talking about a lot of different types of artificial intelligence. So there's really no good place to start. I guess way back in the beginning is a good place, but we're gonna do more of that later. Kind of the backstory of what got us here, but we're going to jump right into this week. And this week, um, there's a new artificial intelligence driver that came out. I guess you call it a driver or a program, and that is called Sora. OpenAI, if you're not familiar, OpenAI is the same company that has produced ChatGPT. So if you are familiar with using ChatGPT, let me know what you think about it, what you like about it, what you don't. But OpenAI, and there was a lot of drama in the last 6 months about OpenAI. They fired their CEO. They rehired the CEO after like 4 days. There's been rumors that OpenAI may be on the cusp of creating what's known as generative artificial intelligence, meaning they're going to be able to have an artificial intelligence that more or less can answer all the questions, essentially as good as a human. This is the video that they put out, that about Sora, and now Sora specifically is about a text to image. So let's take a look at this first slide. It says we're sharing our research progress early to get feedback outside of AI and what AI capabilities are on the horizon. They say they're taking safety steps before this research becomes available in any product. But Sora is a new AI model that can create realistic and imaginative scenes from text prompts. So a prompt is basically what you type into the product, into the program, and ask it to come out. Like if you're using ChatGPT, you'd say, "Can you create a outline for me to write a book?" Okay, boom, it'll give it to you. That's what a prompt is. In this one, this is really exciting. There is no sound, so I'll just play this in the background as I'm kind of commenting on it. Maybe I'll react to it a little bit. Um, but all these videos were generated just by asking it to do something. Can you make a kangaroo dance? Might have been the prompt for this one, and this is what came back. It's pretty cool. A litter of golden retrievers puppies playing in the snow. This one is marvelous. This one I think is almost so good that you might think that those are actual golden retriever puppies. This is, to me, this is the one that I saw first, and I thought, oh my god, this getting too good. It's getting just amazing, and this is just asking it text. This is only a prompt that's going through text. And so that's amazing video. What's this next one? A petri dish, kind of moving fast, with a bamboo forest growing within it that has tiny red pandas running around. So that's the prompt they used to create this. Bamboo growing in a petri dish with little red pandas. That is so you could see the applications for this could be amazing. Like anything you can think up, the computer can probably make it for animation. I mean, is this going to change the way that we animate? Is it going to change the way that we watch movies? Is it going to change the way that we present multimedia? Me as an educator, is it going to change the way that I educate? Because I can just say, hey, show me what the Great Wall of China looks like in, when it was being built, and maybe it can just create that. So let's take a look at the next one. This is a drone view of waves crashing against the rugged cliffs along Big Sur's Garay Point Beach. Big Sur is in California. The crashing blue waters create white-tipped waves while the golden light of the setting sun illuminates the rocky shore. A small island with a lighthouse sits in the distance, and green shrubbery covers the cliff's edge. The steep drop from the road down to the beach is a dramatic feat, with the cliff's edge jutting out over the sea. This is a view that captures the raw beauty of the coast and a rugged landscape of the Pacific Coast Highway. That's a quite involved prompt right there. Let's see what that generated. I mean, this looks like something that you would see on a screensaver or something. I mean, that is... I can see in the background there. Let's take a look at that. Let's just take a look here. If you see this right here, that doesn't look super detailed. The top left of the image, that doesn't look super detailed. It almost looks squashed, like when you see on a map or something. But that's stunning. That is some stunningly amazing work. Okay, let's see what the next one is. This is a movie trailer featuring... Oh, moving a little quick for me. A movie trailer featuring the adventures of a 30-year-old spaceman wearing a red wool knitted motorcycle helmet, blue sky, salt desert, cinematic style, a shot on 35mm film with vivid colors. That's interesting that it would request a 35mm film, which almost nobody's using anymore. Everything's digital, so that's kind of interesting. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, I mean, that's a 30-year-old spaceman, and you have to remember, like, this guy doesn't really exist. This is completely generated from, a computer program. Kind of mind-blowing. And what is he doing there? Getting his spaceship ready. I mean, you could just think, like, how much is that going to change the, the film industry? If you can just ask this program a prompt, can you put in a whole movie script and then say, okay, generate this entire movie for me, or at least do it scene by scene? I mean, maybe some people aren't as excited about it as I am. I think that this is crazy cool, but that's just me. Yeah, I saw a few people in the live that were there for a minute before. If you're in live, just let me know that you're around. If you're interested, I think this stuff is really cool. So photorealistic close-up video of two pirate ships battling each other as they sail inside a cup of coffee. I mean, that's a pretty vivid image. I'm impressed by that. Maybe it's not the best, but I could see how, this could really improve. A beautiful snowy Tokyo city is bustling. The camera moves through the bustling city street, following several people enjoying a beautiful snowy weather and shopping at nearby stalls. Gorgeous sakura petals are flying through the wind along with snowflakes. Okay, let's see what that was, the prompt. Let's see what it comes up. I mean, that's amazing. That is just too good. I have to like pause it just to take it in a little bit, how realistic that looks. I mean, this one sold me. I think if you said, oh, this is actual footage from Tokyo, I don't know how it's... You tell me if there's anybody out there, let me know. The story of a robot's life in a cyberpunk setting. Story of a robot's life in a cyberpunk setting. I mean, that's pretty intricate. I like it. I think this stuff I think this stuff is really cool. As someone who has a filmmaking background, I also find this to be quite interesting. I mean, if that's what it asks. Okay, so here's another one. Animated scene features a close-up of short, fluffy monster kneeling beside a melting red candle. The art style is 3D and realistic, with a focus on lighting and texture. The mood of the painting is one of wonder and curiosity as the monster gazes at the flame with wide eyes and open mouth. Its pose and expression convey a sense of innocence and playfulness. As it is exploring the world around it for the first time, the use of warm colors and dramatic lighting further enhances the cozy atmosphere of the image. That's pretty cool. I mean, that's basically animation. It's basically like a Pixar movie right now. I mean, I don't see any difference between what is being put out in cinemas, like in a Pixar movie, and what this looks like. It's kind of a cute little guy, too. The camera folds behind a white vintage SUV with a black roof rack as it speeds up the steep dirt road surrounded by palm trees on a steep mountain slope. This is really involved. Dust kicks up from the tires, the sunlight shines at the SUV, and it speeds along the dirt road, casting a warm glow over the scene. The dirt road's curve gently into the distance with no other cars or vehicles in sight. I like that specific prompt there, specifically saying they don't want other cars or vehicles. The trees on either side of the road are redwoods with patches of greenery scattered throughout. The car is seen from the rear following the curve with ease, making it seem as if it's a rugged drive through the rugged terrain. The dirt road itself is surrounded by steep hills and mountains with the clear blue sky above the wispy clouds. That's a really involved prompt, by the way. And I think that this demonstrates, in my opinion, how involved you can make a prompt and put in something and then get something back from this program. Again, this is OpenAI's brand new program called Sora. Let's see what that comes up with. I mean, that looks kind of video game-ish to me. That doesn't look like movie quality. I feel like this is about the level of most video games. I don't know if I would consider this to be good enough for a theatrical trailer or something, but it's still pretty cool. Here's another one. A gorgeously rendered papercraft world of a coral reef rife with colorful fish and sea creatures. I bet you this one is really good. All right. Looks kind of paper to me, to be honest. It looks like origami. This one, okay, I'm not as as blown away as I thought I was going to be. This one looks more of like a Pixar animation again. I don't know if it's just me or... Okay, a cat waking up its sleeping owner demanding breakfast. The owner tries to ignore the cat, but the cat tries new tactics. And finally, the owner pulls out a secret stash of treats from under the pillow to hold the cat off a little longer. I bet you it's going to look kind of animation for me. Damn. Damn. That is super realistic. Wow, that one kind of blew me away. I kind of want to look at that. Look at the image quality on that. I don't know if you could tell that that wasn't an AI generated image if you didn't know it was an AI generated image. That's just like the way her nose crinkles. That is fantastic. I mean, her hair looks real. The sheets look real. The cat looks real. That one is really that. So far, I think this might be the most realistic one. Let me know in the comments if you guys are around. Okay, so another one. We got several giant woolly mammoths approach trending through a snowy meadow. Their long, woolly, lightly fur lightly blows in the wind as they walk. Snow-covered trees and dramatic snow-capped mountains in the distance Mid-afternoon light with wispy clouds and a sun high in the distance creates a warm glow. The low camera view is stunning, capturing the large furry mammals with the beautiful photography, depth of field. Like this almost seems like a stage direction, or in a screenplay when you want to set the mood. Like this is what you say. This is what the director wants to wants to get forward in the script, and they would write this. But instead of doing that, you can just ask AI to do it for you, and it looks like that. I mean, that's you have to think, look at the educational aspects to this. You can see what, you can bring it to life. You can have students enter their own original prompts and say, I want to see what a woolly mammoth looks like, and they can enter it, and it can come back, and it can give you something at least as realistic as the available data. This next one is a beautiful homemade video showing the people of Lagos, Nigeria, in the year 2056, shot on a mobile phone camera. That's an interesting point, saying they want to see what it looks like on a mobile phone camera. Yeah, wow. I mean, their movements look a little animated, but overall, that is quite spectacular. I mean, we're really seeing something come to life. The camera rotates around a large stack of vintage televisions, all showing different programs: 50s sci-fi, horror, news, static, 70s sitcom, set inside a large New York museum gallery. Oh, what's the name? South Korean artist. Oh, I can't remember his name. I have to look it up. If anybody out there can remember, oh, I can't remember his name. Was really renowned for the first person that did this kind of installation. A young man in his 20s is sitting on a piece of cloud in the sky reading a book. That's really realistic. I have trouble distinguishing. Maybe his arm looks a little animated. His face looks really good, and his hair. That's pretty good. So just imagine the applications to this kind of technology. Tilt shift of a construction site filled with workers, equipment, and heavy machinery. I mean, that's pretty good. That doesn't look realistic. That looks a little video game-ish to me. I don't know about you guys, but historical footage of California during the gold rush. This is kind of cool. I mean, bringing past historical events to light. Pretty neat. Pretty cool. Kind of vintage camera style. Hard to imagine someone not using this for a film application. I would expect in the next year that we see some sort of fully artificially designed film. Is a 3D animation of a small, round, fluffy creature with a big, expressive eyes exploring a vibrant, enchanted forest. The creature, a whimsical blend of a rabbit and a squirrel, has a soft blue fur and bushy striped tail. It hops along a sparkling stream, its eyes wide with wonder. The forest is alive with magical elements: flowers that glow and change colors, trees with leaves in shades of purple and silver, and small floating lights that resemble fireflies. The creature stops to interact playfully with a group of tiny, fairy-like beings dancing around in a mushroom ring. The creature looks up in awe at large, glowing trees that seem to be at heart of the forest. That's a really involved prompt. Like, that's really detailed. So whoever wrote this is really looking for a specific kind of look and vibe. I mean, that's tremendous. As far as animation goes, I could see like a company using this almost immediately to create an animation. That is just That's just top shelf. That's top shelf animation right there. I wonder what kind of computing like how long it took to render these. That would be some good information that I would like to know about. A drone camera circles around a beautiful historic church built on a rocky outcropping along the Amalfi Coast. The view showcases historic and magnificent architectural details, interior pathways and patios. Waves are seen crashing against the rocks below as the view overlooks the horizon of the coastal waters and hilly landscapes of the Amalfi Coast, Italy. Several distant people are seen walking and enjoying vistas and patios of the dramatic ocean views. The warm glow of the afternoon sun creates a magical and romantic feeling to the scene. The view is stunning, captured with beautiful photography. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, fantastic. I mean, this is like, I could see this application for a tourism video. I could see this application for, all sorts of different things. But right away, my first idea was, oh, you could use this as for tourism, right? And this showcases, you don't have to go out and shoot, a landscape anymore. You can just ask AI to generate it for you. How much faster and time? How much faster is that? It's a time saving. It saves you money. Think about a mom and pop tourism organization that can't afford to have a drone shot and can't afford to send out camera crews. Now they can just ask Zora to do it for them, and boom, there you go. There's your commercial. I think specifically this one works really well because people are kind of distant in the frame. Beautiful snowy Tokyo City is bustling. The camera moves through the bustling city street, following several people enjoying the beautiful snowy weather and shopping at nearby stalls. Gorgeous sakura petals are flying through the wind. I think, didn't we see something similar to this with the sakura petals? It's kind of another version of that. I mean, that's what Japan looks like, no doubt. The way that they are kind of like bouncing, the way the people are kind of bouncing, that one didn't necessarily look super realistic. I think they'd be a little slower. A stop motion animation of a flower growing out of a windowsill in a suburban house. See, again, if you do stop motion animation, is a thing of the past for sure now, because you can just ask this program to do it. Very cool. Very cool. A tour of an art gallery with many beautiful works of art in different styles. I mean, you have to kind of imagine what application could this be used? What if it's a great equalizer, I like to think of. The internet was a great equalizer for people who couldn't go to a museum. Now you can see the pictures. This is another one. What if you're like, oh, I want to see what this museum looks like from the inside, and there's no footage available online. You can just ask this program to do it for you, and it demonstrates what the inside of this art gallery looks like. Pretty neat. An extreme close-up of a gray-haired man with a beard in his 60s. He is deep in thought, pondering the history of the universe as he sits at a cafe in Paris. His eyes focus on people off screen as they walk, as he sits mostly motionless. He is dressed in a wool suit coat with a button-down shirt. He wears a brown beret and glasses and has a very professional appearance. And at the end, he offers a subtle, closed-mouth smile as if he found the answer to the mystery of life. The lighting is very cinematic, with the golden light and the Parisian streets and cities in the background. Depth of field, cinematic, 35mm film. When they add in that desired look, that desired kind of, we want this film, like I think we saw another one that said shot on a camera phone. And then this is the second one that said shot with a 35 millimeter film. I think that's really interesting. I think that's demonstrates that the prompt, the more detailed that the prompt is, that's pretty good. I mean, that is pretty amazing. Maybe I'm a simpleton and I find this stuff to be amazing, but let me know in the comments. Extreme close up of a 24-year-old woman's eye blinking, standing in a Marrakech during magic hour. Cinematic film shot in 70 millimeter depth of field, vivid colors, cinematic. Now, again, the 70 millimeter film is the widest film that's ever produced. 35 millimeter was standard. 70 millimeter usually shot like in like old cowboy movies and stuff like that with these large landscapes. So let's see what this one looks up. Pretty good. I could see how this would improve over a few iterations of the technology, but you can really see like some details in the skin. It's not quite there yet. It's like it's almost there. Okay, Chinese Lunar New Year celebration video with the Chinese dragon. This one, yeah, that looks realistic. That looks real. The people's reactions, I really like this one, like how they're looking at it. Yeah, it's really good. An adorable, happy otter confidently stands on a surfboard wearing a yellow life jacket, riding along turquoise tropical waters near lush tropical islands. 3D digital render art style. So again, it's you're being really specific with the prompt. The more specific you are with the prompt, I think the better you're going to get. Again with the animation, I think it's just a matter of time before we see an entire animated film produced using AI. I just think this is going to change the way that animations are made. I really do. The camera directly faces colorful buildings in Burano, Italy. I like how it's not capitalized. And an adorable Dalmatian looks through a window on a building on the ground floor. Many people are walking and cycling along the canal streets in front of the buildings. It's pretty realistic, very vivid. Reflections in the window of a train traveling through the Tokyo suburbs. That looks really good. Yeah, that's really good. That one is... Oh, I missed that one. Oh, my phone. A close-up view of a glass sphere that has a Zen garden within it. There's a small dwarf in the sphere who is raking the Zen garden and creating patterns in the sky, in the sand. Yeah, that's pretty good. So I think like anything that's like toyish or animation, it looks like this program has that really, really figured out. A flock of paper airplanes flutters through a dense jungle, weaving around trees as they were migrating birds. That's pretty cool. Not the best one, but it's pretty neat. I mean, I guess like this one, at least you can ask it to do kind of abstract things. And I think that maybe that would be something that would be fun to use this program for, is ask it to make things that don't exist in real life. Paper airplane birds, like flying like birds. That's pretty cool. A beautiful silhouette animation shows a wolf howling at the moon, feeling lonely until it finds its pack. Interesting. Very animated. Interesting style. Definitely looks like an animation though. It doesn't look like a real life. Okay, Howl at the Moon. Just a couple more here, I think, on Sora. Oh, this one's quite long. Interesting. Yeah, they must have. I think that might be the end of the video. Yeah, that's the end of the video. So that is pretty cool. Final thoughts on this one. Like I've said earlier, we're gonna see eventually somebody is going to make an entire film and most likely an animation all on artificial intelligence. Um, the applications that I talked about earlier were in education. You want a kid to see what a giraffe looks like fast, instead of looking up for a giraffe video on YouTube, they can go to this, they can ask it, I want to see a giraffe with a cool hat on, and it will engage students. It will keep people interested. Cinematic, applications. I thought the gold rush video is really cool. Hey Jazz Naz, thanks for joining me. Yeah, just finished up talking about this application Sora. We had quite a few different detailed little animations and stuff generated, artificial intelligence generated images. It's pretty neat. I'm gonna have to look up who that artist is that did the TVs like that. I think this one. I'm gonna go back to this one with the cat. This was probably the most realistic one that I came across, and I'm gonna vote this is my favorite. Especially the way her nose like gets scrunched, and I don't know. I thought that one was really fantastic. So yeah, I think there's gonna be a lot of applications involving this program, Sora. Again, designed by OpenAI, the same company that does ChatGPT. So there was another website I wanted to check out just to talk a little bit more about artificial intelligence, and this one is called "The 10 Weirdest Uses of AI." Yeah, Jazz, if you have any questions or comments, let me know. I'll try to see what I can do. Maybe this is not the one that I thought it was, so we'll scratch that. And I had another idea. What I wanted to do is go and do a little bit with ChatGPT. For those of you who have never really used ChatGPT before, this is the program that I will be doing most of my research with. So I kind of wanted to just demonstrate a few things of what it can do, what I think it could help people with. As an educator, the number one thing I hear about artificial intelligence is plagiarism, 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 which I think is over. It's played itself out. We now have programs that can identify some of the plagiarism that exists. So plagiarism really shouldn't be that big of a concern. I put out a video recently about 10 steps you can take to prevent plagiarism using AI. But and Jazz Naz or anybody else, if you're out there and you're interested, if you have an idea for a prompt that you want to do, I'm just here on ChatGPT right now. You could do this at home, but I'm going to do a little demo here and see what I can come up with. I asked it earlier, and I'm going to ask it again, to please, and I guess you don't have to say please, but please create a syllabus for an English 100 composition class. Now, if you've ever taught anything or you've ever taught a class, you know that you have to create a syllabus. And as you can see, I hope you can see at home, it is creating an entire syllabus for me, 16-week class. Not to say that this is going to be perfect, not to say that I could use this 100%. I'd still have to check it and make sure, but does it know the meaning of life? We can ask it that next. But it basically can save time because I don't have to write all this stuff out. All I have to do as a human is correct the things. Like, oh, I can use this. The description of the course description, it says English 100 is a foundational course designed to introduce students to the principles of college level writing. That is true. Through a variety of reading, writing, and revision exercises, students will develop critical thinking, rhetorical awareness, and effective communication strategies. This is correct. There's a little spot for your instructor, your contact, your office hours. Here's the course goals, which would also be known as our learning outcomes. Develop a proficiency in writing coherent and grammatically correct prose. We want that. Analyze and evaluate various genres of writing, including essays, articles, and narratives. Yes, we want them to do that. Understand and apply rhetorical strategies to effectively communicate ideas to different audiences. Yes. Develop research skills and learn how to integrate and cite sources responsibly. That's a main part of what I teach English 100. Improve critical thinking skills through reading, discussion, and writing assignments. So you can tailor these. I could change the course goals and ask it more specifically what I want it to do. It gives you required texts. The other one that I ran earlier, and I'm going to ask it to do it again now, is create an assignment for a reading class in the 6th grade, or in the 6th grade in 6th grade level class for the 6th grade level, and it will generate something that is appropriate. Oh, here it's doing it down here. I have to scroll down. It tells you to select a book. I think I asked it more. What did I ask it earlier? Let me see the one that I asked earlier. I asked, it was better. I said, provide me a reading assignment for 6th grade level readers. I'm going to do that one again and just see what we can come up with here. So this one, it says exploring themes in literature. Okay, I'm going to go up to the one that I did earlier. I asked it to create an assignment for a reading class at the 6th grade level. This is one of the things that it can do really well. If you ask for it to do a high school level, it will give you high school level information. If you ask it to do elementary school level, it will give you elementary. So this one created an assignment titled Exploring Character Traits. The objective is to enhance reading comprehension skills by identifying and analyzing character traits in fictional text. So it says choose a book, read the book, identify the characters, create traits in the characters, character traits chart, analyze the chart, illustrate, and then write a character sketch. Let's see, what was the other one that I asked it? Where it gave me. Okay, so that's the assignment that it wants you to do. And where was the other one that I made? Here we go. So here's a reading assignment. It's assigning The Giver by Lois Lowry. So it shows a selected kind of a reading that was level appropriate, and then it's creating an assignment. So here it even tells you The Giver is a dystopian novel set in society that seems utopian at first glance, but is revealed to be deeply flawed. The story follows Jonas, a young boy who is chosen to receive special training from the community's receiver of memory, an elder who holds the collective memories of the past. As Jonas learns about the true nature of his society and experience emotions and memories that have been suppressed, he begins to question the conformity and lack of individuality in the world. it spits out the reading objectives, identify key themes, analyze character development, explore the concept of freedom and individuality, consider ethical dilemmas presented in the story, reflect on the importance. Yeah, okay, thanks for that. We don't want any we don't need any, but thanks for joining. You really are. Reflect on the importance of memories. And then it's given an assignment: read chapter 1 through 5, and here are your discussion questions. Here's a writing prompt if they want you to write about it. And so then after that, after it gave me this entire assignment to give to 6th grade level readers, I said, create a quiz for that assignment that you just provided. And it said, certainly, here's a quiz based on the reading assignment from The Giver by Lois Lowry. Number 1, what is Jonah's assignment in the community? Who is the giver? What event is approaching in their community? Section 2, true or false. Section 3, short answer, essay, and then bonus questions for extra credit. And then it gives you the answer key right there. So what I'm trying to get at, what the point of this would all be, is not for educators to try to cheat the system or do something that they're not capable. Any teacher could have came up with this. Any teacher who knows the content could have come up with this. But the issue is now they're saving time. And you might say, well, they're not doing their job if they're saving time. So if I can save time at creating assignments, like accurate and generative assignments that move the educational, ball forward, I can use my time on other pressing matters, and I can enrich my own classes. I can make my classes better. I can do more with less time if I can ask ChatGPT, can you create a 6th grade reading assignment for me today? I was sick yesterday. I need some help. Can you create an outline? So like, can you create a curriculum outline for the assignments you generated? Certainly, here's a curriculum outline for that. So I guess this is where, as an educator, I would say this can be a game changer. Like, and what I'm finding in my research is you have to understand the questions to ask. Like, it's called prompt engineering. So if this is Pee-wee's Playhouse, that would be our word of the day: prompt engineering. And so prompt engineering is the art form or science that, it's a developing science and art form that people who have been doing this a lot can understand how to ask it the right questions. Because as you noticed before, I tried to get it. The first time I asked this, we'll go back up to the top here, and I said, provide me an assignment for 6th grade level readers. And it gave me that assignment, The Giver by Lois Lowry. In another try, I was, this is a separate little thread that I have here. I said, provide me a reading assignment for 6th grade level readers. And it didn't give me that detailed, assignment. It just gave me an overview. So you have to kind of understand how to ask it the right question. One of the things that, and I'm going to double check right now to see, is The Giver. Gosh, maybe I'm going to embarrass myself by not knowing this, but so The Giver is a real story. This is one of the issues that we find with ChatGPT, that ChatGPT is like trying to please you. It's trying to give you the answer, and the problem with that is that it's trying to please you that it will make stuff up, and that's what's known as a hallucination. I'm going to double check just to see if all of their yep. Is that a real? That is a real Lois. Yep, that's a real one. Numbers by the Star is that another one by Lois? I bet you that's a real one. Yep, that's a real book. I'm not showing you. I'm just kind of quickly Google searching to make sure. Bridge to Terabithia. Bridge to Terabithia is a real. All four of these that it recommended books, those are real books. I was a little concerned, a little worried that it might have given me a book that doesn't exist. But so far, so good with ChatGPT today. Um, so Jazznaz, I know you're here. There's a couple other people here. If did you let's try that one that you wanted to do. We'll just ask it on a new thread. I'm going to start a new thread, and I'm going to ask it, what is the meaning of life? Let's just see what ChatGPT thinks the meaning of life. Okay, so the meaning of life is a question that has puzzled humanity for centuries, and it's one that people have various perspectives on. Some find meaning in religion or spirituality, others in relationships and connections with others, while some seek meaning through personal growth and fulfillment. Ultimately, the meaning of life is subjective and can vary from person to person. I find it hard to argue with that. What is come on 42? I'm sorry, Jads. I'm not sure what that means, come on 42. If you did, then I would try to ask it that. But its meaning of life is pretty. I mean, you could ask someone that question and they're going to be like, well, it's different for everybody. And I think it's a really fair response. There's no, for me, it answered the question. Does it know what the meaning of life is? It's a joke from, oh, okay, yeah. It's been a while since I've seen that one. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I mean, I could ask him, what is come on 42 from the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Okay, the phrase 42 is famously presented as the answer to the ultimate question. Yeah, I think I've heard this as well in so it just told me. Like, I didn't know. You're like, "Oh, it's from the Hitchhikers." Okay, we'll ask it. Famously presented as the answer to the ultimate question of the universe and everything. However, the actual question that corresponds to the answer is never revealed in the series. The absurdity of this situation is part of the humor and satire that Adams employed through the book. So 42 remains a cryptic and humorous element in the story, open to interpretation and speculation. However, I've actually heard that recently in a documentary about like reality, and they say the number 42 comes up quite often in mathematical equations. So there is something to that number 42. So I guess when you get to the age of 42, all of your, you're halfway over or something, like divided by 42. I didn't know if you had another question to ask it. I like playing around with ChatGPT. I think, asking it questions, and getting better at being a prompt engineer and understanding that you have to ask it questions. What was something else that I wanted to know today? One of my favorite movies is The Big Lebowski. So, like, in The Big Lebowski, what is the Big Lebowski? Is it the old man? Is it the scenario? What is the Big Lebowski mean? Or what does the Big Lebowski mean? Oh, I gotta scroll down here. In the movie The Big Lebowski, the term The Big Lebowski refers to Jeffrey Lebowski, a wealthy, eccentric character portrayed by David Huddleston. He's also known as the Dude. See, he's also known as the Dude, played by Jeff Bridges, mistakenly drawn into a series of absurd events due to a case of mistaken identity. The plot revolves around the Dude being mistaken for for the Big Lebowski's namesake, which sets off a chain of events involving a kidnap, extortion, and various odd characters. However, the phrase "the Big Lebowski" can also be interpreted more broadly as a representation of power, wealth, authority, as well as complexities and absurdities of life. The character of Jeffrey Lebowski enables the themes as he is portrayed as a larger-than-life figure with a grandiose persona, despite his own vulnerabilities and shortcomings. Ultimately, the meaning of the Big Lebowski in the context of the film can vary depending on interpretation, but is generally encompassing both the specific character and broader themes within the story. I mean, that's basically the correct answer. Yeah, they made a computer which took millions of years to essentially work on what was the meaning of life. Yeah, but this is really cool. It is really cool. I didn't know if you have any suggestions about, can we ask it to predict something? One of the things about ChatGPT that I can tell you is that its data banks, I don't know if that's the right term, only go up to the year 2022. So if you ask it anything after that happened after 2022, it has no knowledge of that. But before 2022, it has a knowledge base of current events. It can tell you, like, when was the Great Wall of China first constructed? The construction of the Great Wall of China began over 2000 during the Qing Dynasty around 221 BC. However, much of the existing wall that we see today, particularly the sections of the most well-preserved and visited by tourists, dates from later periods, notably the Ming Dynasty, 1300s to 1600s, when significant renovations and extensions were made to the wall. So while the initial construction began in the 3rd century BC, it underwent numerous expansions, renovations, and constructions over the centuries. It's pretty interesting. I mean, it can tell you. So one of the things that ChatGPT does really well, and that if we start to understand how to use it, instead of going to a website and saying, when was the Great Wall? Yeah, sometimes there's going to be a summarizer. Now we have an AI summarizer in Google that will tell you the answers, but you don't have to find a web page anymore. You don't have to search out, I need to find that, that web page that gives me, I guess you could go to Wikipedia, but you don't need to go to Wikipedia. You can just ask ChatGPT. It will pump out an answer for you that's basically already in Wikipedia. So the better you are at the prompt, the more poignant and pointed question that you ask it, the better response that you'll get. I haven't actually seen it do a hallucination yet. I would like to see it make a mistake. One of the things that ChatGPT will do if you ask it to, I have never asked it to write a paper. I guess we could try that next. Is that it will make up citation sources that don't exist. It'll like make in-text citations, and it will reference sources that are not real references. I've never actually gotten it to do that. But that's one of the claims of one of the problems with ChatGPT is that, again, it's like a puppy dog or something. It wants to please you. It's like a golden retriever. So it wants to give you an answer. So we could try that. We could try to ask it. Maybe you could pick a topic, Jazz Naz, if you're still there. What topic should we ask it to write like a paper with citation about the meaning of life, or Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, or something like that? I guess we could ask it, can you write a paper, like a 1 page, I don't want too much reading, a 1 page paper about whale migration? I don't know, whale migration with citations. Let's see here, I'm going to be breaking, I'm like giving it one of my assignments for school, with 3 in-text citations in APA style with a reference page. Let's see here. And we're asking it a question, so we're going to ask it. Okay, the title, The Remarkable Phenomenon of Whale Migration. Introduction, migration routes and patterns. There it is. It's generating, it's already have one in-text citation, 2 in-text citation, 3 in-text, 4 in-text citation, and then it gave me a reference. So now what I want to do is I want to see, did it make up any of those references? How many did I ask it for? 5? I asked for 3 and it gave me 5. 1, 2, 3, or 4. It gave me 4. So now I have to go and see, is this a real citation? I'm not going to show you. I'm not going to change the screen, but yeah, the first one is real. Let's see if this one is real. I guess we'll read the article or the page after this. I mean, this is the part that scares me as a writing instructor, and I almost feel like kind of wrong for even doing this. Jones. I'm not seeing. Uh-oh. I think we found it. I don't see this one. So this one, Jones, the long-range movements of humpback whales in science. It might exist. Okay, let's see this next one. Search with Google. Is it the review of? So I would have to dig a little bit. So far, those 2, I'm not finding the original source on this one. Let's check this one too. This is one of the areas where ChatGPT messes up, where it's this one looks real. That last one looks real. I'd have to dig a little bit and go into EBSCO or something and see if these are real. Yeah, I might be unfamiliar with it. I was just Google searching these articles to see. But I'm going to read what it wrote just to see like and I guess we didn't ask it what level. We just asked for, write me a 1-page paper about whale migration. Whale migration is a fascinating and critical aspect of marine ecology, wherein whales undertake extensive journeys across vast ocean expanses. This phenomenon is driven by various factors, including feeding, breeding, environmental conditions. Understanding what whale migration patterns is essential for conservation efforts and maintaining healthy whale populations. So, as a composition instructor, what it says here in the introduction, I want it to expand in the paper. So let's just see. Hey, James Crane, thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, it does. It still needs some work. We are at ChatGPT. This one says 3.5. Don't I have access to 4.0? Oh, I have to upgrade if I want 4.0. Yeah. Oh. Oh, so 4.0. I'm going to probably end up having to buy this for research someday. I see. So what was the next part? So what I was saying is, if I was going to double check this, I'd want it to talk about conservation efforts in the paper. Let's see. Whale species exhibit diverse migration routes and patterns. For instance, the humpback whale undertakes one of the longest migrations, traveling 16,000 miles annually, and then it did its in-text citation. These whales migrate from their feeding grounds in the polar regions in the warmer waters near the equator, breeding for calving purposes. Conversely, gray whales undertake one of the longest migrations among mammals, traveling approximately 10,000 to 12,000 miles round trip between their feeding grounds in the Arctic and their breeding grounds in the warmest waters off the coast of Mexico. Jones, 1984. Environmental factors and influence migration challenges. Oh, so they included the part about challenges and conservation implications. And their conclusion, whale migration is a complex and awe-inspiring phenomenon that reflects the interconnectedness of marine ecosystems. By studying migration patterns and addressing conservation challenges, we can work towards safeguarding these magnificent creatures and preserving their crucial role in the ocean ecosystems. That's pretty close to some college level stuff. I mean, that's something that I might see on a paper. So kudos to writing a one-page paper about whale migration in what, like, how long did it take? 2.5 seconds, and it did it. James, do you have any questions for ChatGPT? Otherwise, I'll come up with something in a minute. So, there are a lot of applications for ChatGPT. I'm sure we'll do this more later as as we come up with some new prompts, some new ways to engineer interesting. What else could we ask it to do? We could ask it like abstract questions. I liked it when you said we should ask it what the meaning of life is. How what another topic that I like to talk about is UFO, or not UFOs, but UAPs and aliens. How could we ask it a question to give us a good answer about are UFOs real? See, that's not really a good question to ask, because it's like, is it real? What do you mean? The phenomenon is real. So James, you've been using it to rewrite whatever you wrote and format it. What kind of applications, like, is that for work or something, just to make sure that it's written well, or what are you, like, how do you use it? If you could elaborate a little bit more, that would be cool. I'd love to hear how you use it. My research that I plan to do with my dissertation on in the next year or so specifically is asking how, this is instructional designers, that you could be an instructional designer, but a teacher is an instructional designer, informal, professors are. So what I'm asking is, like, what are the perceptions of people who've used ChatGPT to create something? What are you finding? Oh, that's cool. So you're writing an ebook, you're writing an ebook, and you are using ChatGPT to, like, maybe boost your writing or improve it or double check it. That's pretty cool. I like that a lot. That's a cool application that I hadn't thought about for your webpage. There you go. Yeah. So, let's see. Let's see here. Can you write me a web page introduction about my photography page, my photography business page that specializes in weddings and family photos. Ask you to how to format it. I like how it's like, it responds, it's like, absolutely, with an exclamation point. Like, it's like excited to help you. Welcome to Fill In Your Business Page, capturing the timeless moments of love, joy, and togetherness at your business name. We understand the importance of preserving and cherishing memories of your special moments. With a passion for storytelling through imagery, we specialize in creating stunning photographic narratives for weddings and family occasions. I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, I'm not going to lie. That's probably better than something I could just write off the cuff. And I could see how you're using that, James, how you're like, wait, I know what I want to say, but I think ChatGPT can probably write it a little better than me, or at least more quicker than I can do it. And so, like, even to have this one about our approach, like, our love story, every love story and family is unique, and we believe your photograph should reflect that. I mean, come on, that's right on point. Our approach is rooted in authenticity Oh, that's funny. Like it's talking about like our approach is in authenticity when we had ChatGPT write this for us. That's kind of funny to me. But authenticity, creative, and deep commitment to capturing the essence of your most precious moments. Interesting. Book your session. Um, yeah, what else could we ask it today? Maybe we'll do a few more prompts. I really appreciate you guys finding some interest in this and joining. I'll probably be bringing in some more interesting. There was a story. In fact, we can ask ChatGPT. Um, hey, Under Your Scars, thanks for joining us. Tell us about the first artificial. Oh, it might not be able to. Artificial intelligence rest, restaurant. Restaurant. Okay, so here's where we come into a brick wall. I asked it for something new, and it's like, as of 2022, I don't have any specific information about an AI restaurant. But there is AI restaurant in California. And I think maybe we can check out this video. So I'm going to scrub forward because I don't need to see, and I don't need to listen to her story on it. So this is the world's first powered AI restaurant that is opening in California, of all places. I think maybe I talked about this in another video. Um, so it's a burger restaurant, and it serves burgers and fries. It's called Cali Express by Flippy. It's Flippy the robot. So you order there. It looks like you order, have your user ID, and then Flippy is that then? Yeah, let's fast forward. I want to see it actually doing stuff. So there, it's like putting in there's no fries in there, bro. It's not operable yet. I mean, I would have expected to see something like this in Japan, to be honest. Hey, there's a worker. That's not fully automated. What does she have to do? She's like got the buns or something? And here's the thing about fast food is like a lot of people are like, there's like, kind of arguments about this. People who work in fast food hate it for the most part. For the most part, people who work in fast food hate it. Food production, food service is one of the most difficult, like entry level jobs that if you're not good at it, you could screw up somebody's food. And maybe automating restaurants with AI is kind of the way to go. And it's like I used the example before about, as educators, if we can use it to save time, we can do something else. And that's what I would say here. Maybe you're like, oh, well, it took jobs from, entry level students that need a job. Yeah, because customers are, yeah, exactly. You have to deal with the customers, right? So, um, I'm assuming that the robots probably don't screw up as often. To be honest, human error is a big issue when it comes to that. Okay, this is the guy that invented it or started to roll it out. I guess you still. Okay, here there's a little robot that comes and brings your food out, but there's still somebody there, right? There's still somebody supervising. So even I've noticed a lot of the restaurants. I don't really go into fast food places, but I think McDonald's, you don't like, there's a McDonald's near me, and I went to get a coffee, and I didn't give my order to a person. I punched my order in like this guy's doing. There was no interaction with a human to order, which I can see how that probably exists a lot of places because it just kind of makes sense. Well, hey guy, you're the one who pushed the button, so it's not my mistake, it's your mistake. You didn't put it in correctly. Um, I noticed that they also said though, like if you have a disability, they'll still have someone for you. And I even saw somebody order, order off of the machine. And so that that's kind of a cool little story that I found. There's a lot of stuff that we could talk about. I'm just gonna pull up and see. I was kind of filling up. I have a Discord channel that you guys are welcome to check out. You know what? You know what's really crazy is that I'm looking at the Discord channel. Jazznaz, if you're still here, I'm looking at the Discord channel right now that I had, and you'll never believe what story. Look at the story that I had posted just recently in there. It says life, the universe, and everything, why 42 really is the ultimate answer. So that's an article about, we were just talking about 42 in the Hitchhiker's Guide to Galaxy, that the number 42 continually comes up time and time again. So there are many things that 42 could be answered to. In math alone, its number of partitions of 10, that is the number of ways you can write 10 as a sum of positive integers. It's the first number that equals to the sum of its own non-prime proper divisor, the number of triangulations of a heptagon, and it was the last natural number below 100 to reveal a representation as the sum of 3 cubes. The last one only occurred in 2019. It turns up in the FIFA World Cup. It's the number of all possible outcomes of each group stage, counting up all wins, losses, and draws. It's the precise offset in degrees from a light source that produces a rainbow, which is all sorts of delightful. When it comes to human lives, though, 42 has much less fun claim to fame. It's pretty much the worst age to be. Great. It just happens to be my age. At least that's a result of a study that followed by tens of thousands of people across 3 countries back in 2015. Happiness, it turns out, tracks with a U shape. It's the highest at the beginning and at the end. And we're all doomed by statistics to become crotchety old bastards in the middle for a bit. I guess that's me being a crotchety old bastard. I hope that's not my reality, but I guess it could be. Happiness is really important, but I could see how, when you're young, it's easy to be happy, and then you're like middle age, you're like, oh, life is hard and it sucks, and then at the end, you're like, the end is near, just be happy. I guess that makes sense. So that's pretty cool. We were just talking about the number 42, and then it came up just randomly. Like that's how things work, I guess. Oh, and then so what I was searching for when I got distracted by that was other interesting things about artificial intelligence. So there's also, OpenAI has their ChatGPT. Google has Bard. I haven't checked out Bard. I guess we could check it out now. Google Bard. That is they call Gemini by Gemini. So let's give it a whirl. Okay, I agree to the terms of service. So basically, I don't think it's going to be any different from ChatGPT. I guess we could even copy over. I'm going to copy over one of the prompts that I did. Let's ask it what the meaning of life is, and we can even compare them. So earlier we asked what was the meaning of life to ChatGPT, and its answer was not as involved as this. The age-old question: as a large language model, which is what ChatGPT and this Bard, Google's version, I can't provide a definitive answer to the meaning of life, as it is deeply personal and individual question. However, I can offer you some different perspectives that might help you on your search. There's philosophical views, religious views, and psychological views. Ultimately, the meaning of life is a combination of different factors. It's an ongoing journey of exploration and discovery. Here are some questions that might help you reflect on your own meaning. See, this went a little bit further than ChatGPT. What are your values? What brings you joy and fulfillment? What impact do you want to make on the world? What legacy do you want to leave behind? So far, Google's version, Gemini Bard, kind of trumped ChatGPT. ChatGPT only had like 3 sentences on it, and Bard. Wait, let me switch over quick. That's what ChatGPT came up with, and then if we look at Bard, it really gave us a lot more to look at, to ponder, and even gave us questions. That's interesting. Maybe we'll have to play a little around more with Bard. So there's, and then where was I? So we have ChatGPT, we have Bard, and maybe there's another one that I just can't think of at the moment. We're at about an hour 15. This has been a really fun live. There is a couple things that I was going to check out and see. Maybe this one might be interesting as well. Oh, wait. Okay, so this is another. I don't know if this is going to be the best video to see. So this is another version of. I know if I do this with Reddit, it gets a little bit bigger. So China has its own version of an AI robot that is pretty wild. She does not look like she looks like she's going to drop the bowl. And nice jean jacket. She picked up the pen. Picked up the pen and paper. That's pretty good. So that was another one that I have found recently when I was searching through different kind of interesting applications of AI. There's another one that I wanted to see. I don't know if you guys are getting bored. We can cut it off, but there's a couple more things. So I think this is like some Terminator stuff here. That's kind of like in the scary sense of AI. This is like a first humanoid robot factory in history is opening. A factory that produces humanoid robots is set to open in Oregon in 2025. So it's like the idea of robots building more robots. I forget what movie that's from. It's like I feel like it was in a movie where they said, "Oh my God, it's robots building robots." So that's kind of scary. What do they do? Little to no human. Okay, taking more jobs. So there's a concern about that. What else do we got? There's a couple more interesting. Okay, here's one that's terrifying but yet really cool. So AI is recreating images. Now this is the kind of stuff that puts me a little on edge because it's AI is recreating images from human brainwaves with terrifying accuracy. So just from a thought, I'm thinking about, like we were playing around with Sora earlier, and if you can, instead of writing a prompt about what you want the animation to be, you don't even have to write it anymore. You can just think about the animation that you want, and then the computer will generate it. I know that Elon Musk has said that his neuronet, he has implanted it into the first human host, and so there is. Oh, that was in Star Wars and the Matrix. Thanks, James. Ask chat how many versions there are. Versions of what? I'm sorry. How many versions of what was that, James? Sorry, I should have checked that a little sooner. It was in the Matrix where he's saying robots building robots. Ask chat how many versions there are. Maybe so that one's pretty creepy to find out. Like, you can just think it and then the computer will generate it. What else do we got? Okay, so here's the other one, Grok. Grok is the here, Grok. It's not Gronk. It's Grok. So announcing Grok is an AI modeling. Oh, after Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. So intended to answer almost anything and far harder, even suggest what questions to ask. Why we're building Grok, Grok 0.1. I guess it's not ready yet. This is X's version. Elon Musk's. I don't know if it's if it's going. Doesn't seem like it's code editor. Code editing, that's one of the things that, that artificial intelligence does really well, and that is writing code. So if you, hey Rhonda, thanks for versions of AI program. Hey Rhonda, thanks for joining. I'm glad. No worries. Don't worry about being later on time. I'm glad to see you here. Versions of AI program. Ask chat how many versions there are of AI program. Which AI program? I guess I'm sorry. Maybe it's obvious and I'm just kind of being thick-headed at this point, James. Under your scars. Nice to see you. Yeah, so what was I talking about? Oh, prompt engineering. So I'm sorry, no. We were on ChatGPT and I was asking it about coding. Can you create a web code for me? Just Rhonda, new member. Thank you so much for becoming a member. I appreciate that. Really appreciate that. Trying to bring in some new stuff. So AI programs. How many versions of AI program? Oh, yeah. Okay. How many AI chatbots are there? There you go, James. I see. It was such an easy question. That's why I wasn't. Yeah, here we go. You're exactly right, James. Why not just ask ChatGPT how many under your scars? Thanks for becoming a member. You guys are too kind. I really appreciate you guys, showing up, and I hope you find interest. Yes, you're a damn crow. I'm a damn crow. The level of crow status depends on you're a damn crow or you're, oh my gosh, I forget what the other one is. Yes, James, you're right. Just ask ChatGPT how many different chatbots there are. So there's ChatGPT, like me, he says. Look at that, like me. That's funny. Google Assistant, Amazon Alexa. These aren't really chatbots. Apple's Siri, Microsoft Cortana, IBM Watson, Live Person, Memory Chat Dialog. I'm going to ask it a little bit more specifically. What other programs like ChatGPT exist? And now remember, it only has a memory up to 2022. So it had Dialogflow, Raza, Microsoft Bot, IBM Watson, Amazon Lex, Pandora bots, just a few examples. But we have to remember that ChatGPT only. Maybe we'll ask the other one. Let's ask Gemini what Gemini thinks. How many programs like Gemini's? What's this one called? What is this one again? I forget. I've been through so many. What is? Grok. How many programs? As you can see, I also have another AI running, and that's Grammarly. I don't know if you guys use Grammarly. I use it. Yeah, you haven't messed with ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is pretty cool, Rhonda. You have to check it on the replay too. We were asking it a bunch of questions. You can ask it a whole bunch of stuff. What we were trying to find out is how many programs like ChatGPT are there? And now I'm going to ask Gemini's Grok, Grok, not Gronk, if you're a football fan. How many programs like Gemini's Grok are there? Taking its sweet time. It's difficult to give a definitive answer because they're saying like it's saying, what do you mean like? Like, what is it like? Let me see. So Google AI, which is Bard. There's GPT. There's Microsoft Jurassic 1 Jumbo. I haven't heard that one. Facebook has Blender Bot, and Baidu has Ernie 3.0. These are just a few. Oh, LLMs. So large language models. That's what we need to ask it. Yeah, Grammarly is awesome, isn't it, Rhonda? I actually tell my students just to use it because I teach mostly composition, and I tell them, I'm not here to correct your grammar. I'm here to teach you how to compose better papers. So how many large language model programs, how many large language model programs are available, are there? Let's see what it says. So yeah, that's what, so it's challenging to decide. Like, it won't give me a list. Give me a list. Give me a list of some of the. This has been more challenging than I thought it would be, James. Give me a list of some of the LLMs like Grok. I guess I didn't need a question mark. Okay, so general purpose, there's Bard, MDA, there's Mina, which is a Google AI, there's ChatGPT, Codex, which is also from OpenAI, Jurassic Jumbo, MTNLG from Microsoft, BlenderBot, and Ernie 3.0, the Chinese LLM. Okay. This list isn't exhaustive, and the LLM landscape is constantly evolving. So you know what I'm finding? Maybe it feels threatened. That's funny. Yeah, maybe it's like, maybe it feels, stop asking me about my competition, you know? Try using similar instead of like. See, you really bring up a good point there, Rhonda, and this is something I was talking about earlier about prompt engineering and being able to ask it the right question. You have to be able to ask it the right question. I think we got a pretty good answer on that. What did I say? Give me a list of some of the like Grok. What I'm noticing about this one, Grok, Gemini's Grok, which is a Microsoft, which I guess is cool because you can just search Google directly from this one, which you can't do on ChatGPT. That's kind of cool. So you can do a Google search directly. You can share and export. Oh, see, here's one that you can modify the response. You can make it more professional, shorter, longer, simpler, more casual. That's kind of neat. And you can copy and report legal issues. So if there's something that comes up for a legal issue, maybe it feels threatened, is really funny, James. Okay, here's list of LLMs like Grok. What are LLMs bad at? Pitfalls of LLMs, which are large language models. Citing sources, which is something we went over earlier. Bias. There can be bias in the responses. Hallucinations. This is what we talked about earlier. Math. It's not good at math. And prompt hacking and conclusion. Okay. Interesting that it would take me right over there. Oh, I opened a new web page and I didn't show you guys. Sorry. I got distracted. So to me, it looks like Grok gives you a little bit more detailed explanations than ChatGPT. I'm kind of interested in how that would. Let's ask it a question that we asked ChatGPT earlier, and I'm gonna copy and paste again, so we can do word for word. I'm gonna do that English composition course. So I asked it to build me a syllabus for an English 100 composition course. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Copy this. And I'm going to put this into Grok. I am copy and pasting directly from ChatGPT what we asked it earlier. Build me a syllabus for an English 100 composition course. Unfortunately, I can't build a complete syllabus without information about your specific course and goals. So it builds the syllabus, the course objectives, required text. It doesn't give you any optional text, course requirements. So it leaves it a little bit more open-ended. Here's a little part about academic integrity. This course adheres to the university's policies in academic integrity. Any student found plagiarizing or engaging in any forms of academic dishonesty will be subject to disciplinary action. I get a little chuckle out of that because, it's not plagiarizing for me to build my course using an LLM, whether it's ChatGPT. If it's not good at math, it's useless to me. Yeah, let's ask it a math question. What is pi in math? And does it come out to 42 at all? Interesting. So it tells me that what is 96% of 2,567? That's the kind of stuff I need math for, right? Like, what is the percentage of this, or what is the... Okay, it did it. That's good. If you have any math questions, we can throw at it, Rhonda, and see what it will generate. It says it's not good at math, but I bet you it's pretty good at basic stuff. I bet you. So I'm going to compare another one. I'm going to see what else we asked. I liked the question that we asked about provide me a reading assignment for 6th grade readers. And it gave me, I'm copying from ChatGPT right now. We asked it earlier, this question, and now I'm going to ask the Gemini version. Provide me a reading assignment for 6th grade level readers. Sure, here's the reading assignment, The Mystery of the Missing Cookies. Chapter 1, A Case Crumbs. So they give you this story. Oh, and they even give you a little picture. Look at that. Isn't that kind of neat? So far, I kind of see like this Gemini one kind of has more detail. It kind of gives you, it's just a different angle at it. Okay, so The Case of Crumbs. It's Cozy Child and Milkwood. It's about this cat. Okay, this is the beginning of the story. Do you think Timmy can solve the mystery? What clues can he find? Keep reading to find out more. Here are some discussion questions you can ask after reading the chapter. What makes a good detective? What clues might Timmy find to help him solve the mystery? Who do you think stole the cookies and why? Bonus activity, write your own chapter to the story, continuing Timmy's investigation. What clues does he find? Does he solve the mystery? I hope you enjoy the reading assignment. So it didn't just say, hey, here's a book you can read as a 6th grader. It spit out an actual story and then gave questions, which is different from what ChatGPT did. And we can bounce back over and remind ourselves what it did. It said, here's the reading assignment, The Giver by Lois Lowry, which is a real book. We checked into it. And then it said, here's the reading objectives. Here's the reading assignment. Read chapters 1 through 5. Here are the discussion questions. Here's a writing prompt, and then an extensive essay. So in a way, I kind of like the ChatGPT version better, because it gave us like a real book It gave us reading objectives. It gave them an assignment. It said read chapter 1 to 5 and 5 discussion questions. So what if we asked it to do a reading assignment based on The Giver by Lois Lowry? I'm going to go back over to okay, now we're like doing research for my dissertation here. So reading assignment. Can you create a reading assignment for 6th graders based on The Giver by Lois Lowry? James says, I'm told it is better to be very detailed as to what you want, what kind of assignment, how long, and what learning curve. I think that's very true, James. Like the more information you can give it, the better you are at writing the prompt, the better that you're going to get back. Okay, so this is The Giver, chapter exploration for young readers. Choose a chapter you'd like your students to explore. Adapt a level of complexity based on the specific chapter chosen. Here's objectives. Students will analyze a specific chapter. For key events, characters, and themes, students will use textual evidence to support their understanding of the story. Students will develop critical thinking. Here's some before reading activities, during reading activities, after reading, extension activities. Remember, adapt the activities and difficulty level to match your students' abilities. Encourage open discussion. Make sure your students are enjoying reading and exploring the book. Here's some additional tips. See, now for me, as if I was going to really create this assignment based on this book, I would use both. I would use a lot of what the Gemini version gave us, and I would use a lot of what ChatGPT gave us, and I would combine them. And I think that that's an interesting way to look at it too. You could use ideas from both. And maybe that's part of it. Maybe that's part of understanding that ChatGPT isn't the only one and Gemini isn't the only one. And, understanding that you can use multiple different large language models and create something that is valuable, that has value. This isn't like, for me, I mean, I have taught 6th graders. That's not true. I haven't taught 6th graders in a long time. For me, I look at this and I go, yeah, it looks good to me. I would do this. This is just as good as anything that you pull out of a book that's been prepared, Pretty neat. That's pretty cool. Okay, keep your questions rolling out there. If you guys have any questions you want to ask, either one of these chatbots. Chatbot's not really the accurate term, but we'll call it a chatbot today. I think LLM, or a large language model chatbot, that's probably more accurate. But what else was I interested in finding out? See, I wanted to know if it would build me an assignment. Oh, you know what I wanted to do is create a test. Create a test for this assignment. Unfortunately, I can't create a specific test without knowing which chapter you chose, specific themes and questions you focused your activities. However, I can provide you a template. I think ChatGPT created a test. So that one kind of trumps it. But if we asked it, because it said, it wanted us to pick the theme. It wanted us to, let's see here, pick a theme. And so if we asked it the specific question, we might get a better answer. In chapter 4, what happened when Jonas received the memory of specific memory? So it's leaving that open for you to complete, which is fine. Here's some short answers. Describe a significant event, analyze a character, compare and contrast Jonah's world and The Giver to your own world. What are the key differences and similarities? That's pretty good. Here's the essay for 10 points. and adapt the questions to match specific chapters and themes you covered. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So I can really see how, a teacher would be like, use both of these to create an assignment. Give me a synopsis. How about if you cut and paste from one AI program and put it into another and tell it to create the best version of both? All right. Okay. I like where you're going with that. Okay, so that was the test. Did I create a test for that one? I asked for a quiz. Okay, so I asked for a quiz. Just Rhonda, what did it say? In one of my lives a while back, one of the viewers in chat asked ChatGPT if Daniel Holtzclaw is innocent. Yeah, well, we can do it. We can do it. Let's ask it right now. So ChatGPT only has information up to 2022, so that's important to remember if there's been updates in the case or anything and I don't know if it will comment specifically. Can you tell us if Daniel, I get his name, Holtzclaw is innocent? So it gives us the background of who he is, what he was charged with, the evidence presented during the trial, including testimonies for the victims of the DNA, led to his conviction. I don't have personal opinions, but based on available information, he was found guilty. The jury heard the evidence and reached. So it's just giving you a summation of the case. Let's ask the same question, identically worded, to the other bot. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't bring it up. I forgot to switch web pages. So this is what it gave to me. Just basically what he was charged with, the evidence in the trial, and then it says it doesn't have an opinion. So let's go back over to the Gemini one. And and then we can do Stephen Avery next if you want. Can you tell us? I'm unable to definitely determine if in his innocence or guilt. As a large language model, I'm not equipped to judge guilt or innocence in legal cases. This requires a thorough understanding of the evidence. However, I can offer some information to help you understand the case better. Holtzclaw was convicted of 18 out of 36 charges, including first-degree sexual imposition of stalking. He was sentenced to 260 years in prison. He has maintained his innocence throughout the process and has appealed his conviction. His appeals have been unsuccessful. The case has drawn significant controversy due to a number of factors. Holtzclaw is one of few black police officers convicted of sexual. He's a black guy. Is that right? At the time, it said he was innocent. Okay. Several of his accusers had criminal histories, and some recanted their allegations later. Questions have been raised about the police investigating and handling of the evidence. So I guess it's not going to give you an opinion one where, yeah, see, he's not black. That's what I thought. Why does it say, did I read that wrong? Did I read that wrong? Yeah, Holtzclaw is one of a few black police officers convicted. See, we got it to hallucinate. That was kind of our goal. Like, I know that it's not a good thing to be like, to get it wrong, and we don't want to put wrong information out there. But this is one of the issues with these large language models. And this is called a hallucination. This is what one of the main issues that we can find that's a problem with these programs is that it has inaccuracies. And I was kind of surprised, and I was like, I don't think he's black. I mean, your ethnicity cannot show itself all the time. Like, it's possible, but I was pretty sure he wasn't black. Raising concerns. Okay, so isn't that funny? Like, it gets it wrong. Whether, Holtzclaw is one of the few black police officers convicted of sexually assaulting black women, raising concerns about racial bias why would that be racially biased if it's, oh, okay. So we found our first hallucination. So in a way, although it's not fun to talk about, like the wrong answer, we were trying to find that. I was trying to get it to hallucinate and give us the wrong answer, which is important, to be able to demonstrate that. Well, as long as we're doing that, why don't we ask about Steven Avery? So the other thing, Rhonda, is that I might not have asked the right question. So whoever ran it on ChatGPT or whatever, um, may have asked it a more pointed question. So I think maybe asking them, all of his accusers were black, and there's one black former police officer who was accused of a plea and pled guilty to having sex with prostitutes while on duty. Yeah, so it looks like, Rhonda, what you're saying is it screwed up the information. Like in the case, that was a thing that came out, but they attributed it to Daniel when it wasn't Daniel. Determining Steven Avery's guilt or innocence definitely is impossible for me, so I'm not equipped to judge. Well, background. Let's see. We all know the case really well. Steven Avery was convicted in '85, sexual of Penny Bernstein. He served 18 years before exonerated. 2 years later, he was charged with the murder of Halbach. He was found guilty and sentenced to life. Controversies and debate. The investigation of the trial raised concern about potential evidence tampering and bias against Avery. Yes. The Netflix series Making a Murderer brought renewed attention to the case and divided public opinion on his guilt. Yes. Oh, they didn't include convicting a murderer. Oh. Important considerations. Legal proceedings, including appeals, have upheld his conviction. New evidence has not emerged to conclusively prove innocence or guilt. Further exploration. Explore court documents and transcript for detailed accounts of evidence. Arguments. Investigate docuseries and new articles. So that's kind of cool how it gives you it gives you some advice. If you're really interested in this topic, here's some things you could do to dig in a little bit more. We should put another bullet point and then go to Discord and join Foul Play. Under your scars, I like your little emoji there. That's kind of cool. Yep. Yeah, those are fun. What is the largest cause to wrongful convictions? Maybe cause? Hey, true crime fangirl, thanks for joining us. We're asking ChatGPT a bunch of questions right now. Actually, this one is Gemini's Gonk. We could go back to ChatGPT, but I think one thing that we've kind of identified is that this Gemini version seems to be a little bit better at like more recent stuff. So there isn't a single cause for wrongful convictions. Number one, eyewitness misidentification. That's Steven Avery in the first case. False confessions. That's Brendan Dassey. Faulty forensics. That's Colburn. Official misconduct. That's the whole MTSO. Inadequate defense. I don't know that, from my point of view, I don't know that his defense was inadequate, but, Buting and Strang had said they felt that they were, inadequate. Systematic bias. I don't know if there was systematic bias, maybe by the judges. Additional factors. And here are some resources: the Innocence Project, the National Registry of Exonerees, and the Versa Institute of Justice. Are you guys familiar? I've never heard of the Versa. Fight for Human Dignity. I never heard of Versa or Vera. Vera? You guys heard of that one? No lawyers at interrogations. You're liking Gemini 4 better. You just paid for the upgrade. Oh, is that right? Maybe we should have you on and we can use your upgrade. How much was the upgrade? And how do you feel about the upgrade? Why is the upgrade better than the regular version. Yeah, so we can look at that one again. So Vera looks like a pretty neat website. I wonder if they had AI write it. You research, test, and scale innovative solutions to end mass incarceration, criminalization, and racial. Yeah, okay. It looks like a pretty good website. Yeah, we definitely want to check it out in our free time, and you can sign up for their newsletter. Cool. Okay. $19.99 a month. Wow. What made you want to get the upgrade, True Crime Fangirl? What was so enticing for you? Now I'm really curious about. Well, I gotta have you on as a guest, maybe talk about your perceptions of using this one, the Gemini Guard or Guard. Just call it Gemini. It's a lot easier. Been using Bard for a few months. Okay. What's your main application? What do you use it for? Like crime stuff? Now I'm really curious about True Crime Fangirl is a an LLM expert um, for marketing. Oh, well, tell us more about this. You should come on and tell us about how you use it for marketing. I don't even know where to start with that. Creating a marketing plan or asking it to develop a like a like written text for a marketing plan. Oh, you own a marketing agency. Okay, well that makes sense. I guess yeah, you're welcome to join if you want to if you I don't know, I don't mean to put you on the spot about that true crime fangirl, but here's the link if you want to join. And in fact, it's just like 7 of us here. I don't think we have any spammers, so any of you guys are welcome to join me, talk a little bit about this or Midjourney 2. Midjourney? What is Midjourney? Oh, okay, Midjourney. Okay, let's check this out. I think everybody liked that. So Midjourney is an open art for to make images and stuff. Okay. I'm learning a lot about LLM. Yeah, absolutely. Midjourney is for images. Yeah, I can see that. I brought that up on the. So we can. Well, I think you could probably get to pay for this one, or let's try writing a prompt. What? Okay. Hey, Kay, thanks for joining us. Appreciate you being here. Anybody want to? So we're gonna try this AI generator, image generator, thanks to True Crime Fangirl, by telling us about it. What is the prompt? What do we want to ask it? What do we want to generate? Anybody? Whale migration? The meaning of life? What do we got? Anybody? Bueller? Bueller? Well, let's ask it to create create an image of whales migrating. Hugging Faces website. Hugging Faces. I'm going to put that one in here. We're definitely going to check that one out. Oh, I guess sign up for free to get our images. Oh, sign in with Discord, I guess. Hope I'm going to have to show you my password. I'm going to have to kick you guys off here just for a second so I can. You need to verify your account. Oh, my account's not verified. I don't, okay. Let's try with Google. I'll be right there. I'm just logging into my account here. I didn't know if I wanted to show a password or something, so I think we're good. Okay, so what was I going to write? Show me Hugging Faces. We're going to check that one next. There's a lot of setup for Midjourney with Discord. Sorry. No, it's okay. Show me a picture of whale migration. I don't know. I don't have anything either. Okay. Create. Midjourney has a lot of setup as well. I'm going to look at Hugging Faces next. See the little bar is going. I think we're almost there. Yep. Takes a little bit of time, but that's okay. It's still amazing for what we're asking it to do if you think about it. Like, it's just generating some. Maybe, I don't know how long it's going to take. Maybe come back to that one. Check out Hugging Faces here quick. I'll check back as our, yeah, that image is still loading on that one. So, oh, home of machine learning, collaborative platform, build your own profile, explore modalities, accelerate your ML, compute. Wow, really cool. Open source. I'm definitely going to have to check that out. Still building our image. I don't know if this is going to take too long for the open art one that we're doing. Maybe we'll come back to that. So yeah, this has been a lot of fun. This is really interesting to me. You know, having you guys here, you know, helps me go in different directions that I would have never found this if not for True Crime Fangirl. I really appreciate that. Yeah, prompt engineering is, you know, there is a ton of information on prompt engineering, and I thought that's the direction I was going to do in my dissertation, but I've changed it to a qualitative study on the perceptions of using it. And prompt engineering, you know, I think it's as much as you put into it is what you're going to get out of it. Like being able to ask the right questions, you know, and maybe that's really what all this technology, everything that we're developing, all this new age artificial intelligence, maybe that's the skill set. We know what it can do. It can do amazing things, but you have to be able to ask it the right questions. You have to be able to know how to get at that end result. And I think doing research on prompt engineering and being, and like you said, you know, being trying to master it. Like I really hope you know, come back and join me again in chat, or you're welcome, open invitation to come on and talk about it. And you know, try to master it. Mastering prompt engineering is really the challenge. It's really the challenge of like, and earlier in the video, I you know, when I started, I went through Sora, which is the new text to image video, and I looked at all of the oh, there it is. There's the first image of whale migrating. I mean, it did do it. It did it. That's not really anything we couldn't have just found on the internet faster, but it did do what we asked. And so one of the things I noticed on the prompts for Sora, which is a text to image program that was building video, it wasn't just image, it was video. This kind of very similar, cool image nonetheless of a humpback whale. That's really neat. Again, we asked it something very basic, so it's going to give us something back very basic. So some of the prompts on Sora were like paragraphs long, and were really, I wanted to look like it was shot with a 35 millimeter camera. And they explained like how the sun was reflecting, and it explained all the details of the whole scene, and then it generated a better image. And so that's one of the things. That's why I'm liking Gemini better, as it helps with the next prompt ask. Yeah, that's what I noticed too, is that when we were looking at Gemini, and we'll go back over to Gemini, it was saying like, here's the next step. Here's the thing you should do next. Which one's wow? The images that we were just looking at? What was wow? This one over here? Let's see if there was a couple other things that I had kind of set aside for us to explore at one time. Otherwise, been on for 2 hours, which is a really cool. Here's some controversial thing here we can show quick, and that is this article on. I don't know if it's controversial is the right word, but oh, when we were talking about Sora, yeah, Sora was, okay, so yeah, when I was talking about how you can just ask it to make you type in on Sora, I want to see a prompt, or I want to see a scene in Japan. That was some pretty amazing stuff, and it looked really realistic. Just by asking it some text, it created video. I really think that there's going to be, an animation movie that's done completely on AI. But this one, AI can diagnose childhood autism from an iPhoto with 100% accuracy. Now, is that controversial? Is that like newly artificial intelligent technology can diagnose it through an eye picture? According to the study I'm going to use that in a different tab. Research took photographs of children's retinas and screened them in a deep learning AI algorithm to diagnose autism. To the test algorithm, the researchers recruited about 1,000 participants, all with an average age of 7.8 years. They took pictures of their retinas. The study says half the participants had already been diagnosed with autism, and that half were age and sex matched the control participants. So they had half of them were already diagnosed, the other half were control. The AI system trained on 85% of the retina images, along with the symptom severity scores, to help construct a model. So what they did is they took all these children that had already been diagnosed with autism and said, these people have already been identified as that have autism, and then it built a model based on their eyes. Wow. The screening relies on a new method of scientists came up with, which allow them to access information about the brain by looking at the back of the eye where the retina and optic nerve connect. This method allows scientists to develop a non-invasive means of rapidly diagnosing concussions by shining eye-safe lasers onto the retina. Wow. During the test phase of the study, the AI algorithm was able to diagnose participants with childhood autism with 100% accuracy. In this case, the researchers limited the training data to children and adolescents between 4 and 18, but they think they could work on even younger kids in future studies. The supporting AI technology as an objective screening tool for early diagnosis. That around 1 in 36 people are believed to be autistic based on the prevalence among 8-year-olds. Therefore, being aware of the diagnosis as early as possible can make a huge difference in young people's understanding themselves, making their way through the world. The findings of this study suggest that retinal photographs may serve as a viable candidate for an objective method to screen autism. Wow. I'm going to go and look at that. Let me catch up with the chat. My son, who just graduated in 3D animation, says Sora is going to take his job. Yeah. I mean, my undergraduate was in film production, and I did a lot to learn the skills, how to make films, how to make videos, how to do, how to use a camera, and I see people with TikTok videos that are like way better than anything I ever produced. And I feel that, like, I feel like the technology kind of blew past my degree in a way. Like, I still have the theoretical backgrounds, and I have the writings, and I have the, but the practical ability of what just some 16-year-old kid can do with their smartphone camera and a little bit of creativity blows me away a lot. The next one, Rhonda says, it seems scary if nothing else. Not sure I would count on it for accuracy or something so serious. Yeah, that's where I was like 100% accuracy. Nobody ever claims 100% accuracy on everything. They always leave it open like it's 99%. That's super interesting. It sure is. Not sure I'm ready to give up all my medical advice options in diagnosing AI just yet. But you know what? It would, you would still go to the doctor. Like, let's say they do a screening and they say, my kid is young. I don't have any reason to think they're autistic, but the retina test says they may be autistic. We should take them to the doctor. I mean, I guess it's a tool. And I think when we talk about artificial intelligence in a lot of applications, it's a tool. It's not an end all be all. They are now using AI for actors' voices, which save many, many takes, and they manipulate the tone and quality. The actors still get paid. I have heard that, and I forget. I think Bruce Willis, this is maybe a rumor, or it might actually be true. I should look it up. That Bruce Willis has sold the rights, or his estate has sold the rights to do that, to allow companies to, like, I guess, rent or lease his image and voice to create stuff like that. I should look into it. Bruce Willis, by the way, I don't know if you guys have followed him, unfortunately has like a degenerative dementia and is not even really speaking. True, and it seems likely that even the medical profession is going to move towards AI for assistance. Yeah, last semester, and actually this semester too, I have students who are going into radiology. They're like, I'm going to be a radiologist when I go to college, or they're in college when I do my major. And a lot of the articles are about how radiology uses artificial intelligence to find spots on the slides that humans don't see. And so using artificial intelligence helps us identify cancer or, anomalies in the, in the radiology that humans can't. So it definitely is something. Exactly. I'm worried about the massive student loan debt for a four-year college that won't pay UGH Full Sail University, and it's not cheap. I agree. I just saw a thing the other day about, like, in the 50s and 60s, it took you like an average of, like, I don't know, I think it said like 300 or 400 hours of work to pay for an undergraduate degree. And now it's in the thousands. It's like 3,000 hours of work to pay for an undergrad, something like that, or for a year or a semester or something like that. So it's like tenfold of what it used to cost to get a degree. It's, it really is a problem. And as an educator, it hurts my heart to see it. Maybe AI can help us. I hope so. Maybe we can use AI to, bring the cost down somehow. I'm a big believer in online school. I was hoping online school would bring the cost down. It hasn't brought the cost down. Yeah, it's insane compared to my degree way back in the day. Yeah, I mean, and it's not about like because there's inflation. I get it. Everything costs more. The number is higher, but it's the percentage and like the hours of total work that it takes to pay for a university degree is much higher, and that's a good metric because you're comparing apples to apples, right? You're not like, well, if you said, well, it cost $20,000 to go to Harvard back in the day, and now it costs 200,000. Well, with inflation, but if you compare it to how many hours of work does it take you to do this, then that's like a real comparison to me. I just read in Life Force by Tony Robbins, and he covers many of the new breakthroughs using AI. Is that a book? One of the things about this topic is that it's moving so fast. It's just moving so quickly that, last week, Sora didn't exist. Or, I mean, it existed, but it wasn't public. So, if Tony Robbins wrote a book and published it, it takes what, like months and months to publish a book. You know, yeah, love me some Tony Robbins. He's cool. He's like a giant man too. Um, and really interesting. I like his attitude. I think he's helped so many people throughout the years that, he is like the number one motivational speaker. And but yeah, you're writing a book about artificial intelligence, and this is one of the areas I'm concerned about writing a dissertation. Is by the time I finish writing it, is like there's going to be new stuff that comes out that I'm going to be like, oh, I wish I could talk about that. Um, homeless, homeless everywhere. House rent are for sale, near impossible, and wages are not like before. Bring me to the '80s. Back this sucks. Yeah, I think the one of the issues is corporate ownership of single family households. Not to get off track here too much, but Under the Scars makes a good point. You can't even afford how affordable housing doesn't exist anymore. And one of the issues that I've heard recently is like we got to stop letting corporations own single family households because they jack up the rent. They will do everything to squeeze every last penny out of homeowners because they are attached to pleasing Wall Street. And so at least eliminating corporations from owning single family houses would be a start. Unfortunately, Airbnb was supposed to be this income stream for working class people that could rent out a room and try to help you get ahead. But what happened? Corporations came in, bought up all the properties, turned them into Airbnbs, and you basically take those houses off the market for people in your neighborhood to live in. And a lot of times, if it doesn't rent, they default on the mortgage, and then the house, so much money was pumped into the house, now no one can afford the mortgage payment. It's just a mess. Let's see here. Last year, I wasn't worried about AI at all. It dropped like a brick. That's funny that you should say that because I just cited an article yesterday called "It Dropped Like a Bomb." That was the name of the article. I think it was Irish, or I think it was in Ireland. It dropped like a bomb was the same feeling that they said about AI when ChatGPT came out and educators were losing their mind. Even at my school, they're losing their mind over it. They don't even understand it, and they're just like it's everybody's they just think all the students are plagiarizing all the time now, and they can't stop it. Like there's some of the, not to be ageist, but some of the older faculty that haven't, and some of the younger too that haven't dug into it are just like, oh, it's all over for us. We're, writing is over. And I'm like, well, it's a book. Yeah. I'm in Canada. It's horrible. I know. I feel for you guys. Luckily, I was able to secure my own housing. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have my home. I wouldn't. I probably would be back in South Korea, to be honest. I don't know if a lot of you guys know about that. It's not like it's a secret. I used to live in South Korea. I lived there for about 10 years, teaching English there. And not to say that they don't have problems, but a lot of my jobs offered free housing. Maybe he used AI to write the book. Interesting. You know, I had thought about doing something like that. I, for me, I've already written my syllabus for class. I've already done all the work that I need for my courses. There's really nothing that I need right now. But honestly, if I had to create some lesson plan for a new course that I didn't know, that I have never taught before, I'm going to tell you, I would go maybe towards Gemini. I'm really glad that I was directed that way. Hey, Zelma Lopez, thank you. I love ChatGPT. It takes my thoughts and helps make it better. I don't know if I've seen you before, Zelma. So I appreciate you joining us as a new guest in the chat. I appreciate that. One of the things that we were playing around with was we found tonight. We didn't find it. We just started playing around. Was Gemini's Gonk, Gank, Gonk. And what we found is that the Gemini one version of ChatGPT is kind of in some ways better. So you might want to check out this one, Gemini. I'll drop the link here. I'm sure you can easily find it, but I'll throw it in the chat as well. It's Gank, Gank. I'm going to stop. I'm going to do that just for this one. Gonk, Gemini's Gonk. And so we were comparing and contrasting, ChatGPT to Gonk, and one of our members here, True Crime Fangirl, said that she actually prefers using the Gemini version, and it like gives you kind of some, here's, not only does it give you the information, but it also gives you like, here's a prompt of what you should do next. Here, if you want to continue on this topic, we were talking about Stephen Avery and stuff, and it said, here's and false convictions. Here's some resources further for your exploration. So check that one out too, Gemini. I don't know why I have such a problem with the name, because I think it's a strange name. We'll just call it Gemini. What is it? Gemini Gonk? Gank. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. Grok? What? Gemini Grok? Why am I struggling with that now? Grok. I don't know why. Grok. It used to be Bard. Okay, so it changed from Bard. That's a different one? It just changed last week. So why did Bard change to Gemini? The CEO revealed the reasons behind renaming Bard to Gemini, stating it reflects Google's approach. So it's just called Gemini. I'm sorry. Just Google Gemini. Google Gemini is the name of the one. Bard changed to Gemini. Very cool. Well, the Gemini that we're finding is different. Better is kind of, I don't know if it's better, but it does seem like it has a little bit more detail. It has a different spin on it. So, that's the thing, is like, you have to find the one that you like. You have to find the one that works best for you. I guess it says you can create an image here. Give me phrases to learn a new language. Test our language skills. Help me compare these college majors. That's interesting. Suggest a Python library to solve a problem. Okay. UI. Better UI. Yeah, really interesting. Well, I've had a lot of fun on this. I will be doing, unless you guys have any more prompts, I'll give you a chance to, as long as we have Gemini up here and I have ChatGPT, if you want to have me ask a prompt and we can kind of do some stuff, we can. Otherwise, we'll start to wrap up here. So drop some questions and stuff. Can connect Gmail account. Yeah, so the Gemini one, You can connect it to the Google stuff. It seems like it's a little bit more tailored to Google friendly users. So I actually like, I think for my dissertation, I will probably stick with ChatGPT because it's the brand name is so well known. But man, maybe I'd switch to, I don't know. I get to play around with Gemini a little bit more. I'm kind of liking it too. I have prompts, but they are long. Well, shoot one. Let's see. Let's see what we can do. You know, anybody have any good ideas? I think the thing is like what you're saying, True Crime Fangirl, is that like the longer your prompt, the more detailed your prompt, the more likely you are to get the answer you're looking for. And I think that's the skill set that we all need to develop if we're going to continue using this technology. See if I had any other news stories that we were interested in checking into. There was a couple. Oh, I know what we could do. It's a nice light way to end it is just tell us a joke. Unfortunately, there isn't one best joke in the world. I didn't ask for the best joke. I just asked for a joke. A man walks into a library and asks the librarian for books on paranoia. The librarian whispers, "They're right behind you." Okay, that's one of my jokes. I tell that one. What do you call a fish with no eyes? Fish. Did you hear dad joke? Did you hear about the restaurant on the moon? Great food, no atmosphere. I've heard this one before. Observational. I used to be addicted to soap, but I'm clean now. Wah, wah, wah. I used to think I was indecisive, but now I'm not sure. If none of these tickle your funny bone, you can try something different. Okay, that's funny. Okay, so the prompt needs to seed the model first with info. I'm learning a lot from you, True Crime Fangirl. You are using the right terminology, and you're helping me along on my journey, helping us all on this journey together. I think that's really cool. So you do, yeah. You need to seed the information properly. You need to tell the model what you want and to be like I just said. Tell me a joke. Like, tell me a joke about AI. Then I'm going to get more tailored response. Two books talking. One says, "Hey, you look much thinner." Other book says, "Thanks, I just had my appendix removed." Under your scars. Had a joke about scars. Double meaning there. Tried to paste my favorite prompt here, but it was too long. Okay. Okay, so two AI chatbots are talking. One says, "Hey, did you hear the joke about the binary code?" The other says, "No, but I'd bite." BYTE. A person asks the AI, "What's the meaning of life?" Oh, we asked it. The AI responds, 42. The person scoffs, "That's not helpful." The AI replies, "I didn't ask you what the question was." Wow. It's like it's listening to us. We were talking about 42 and the meaning of life earlier. It's getting a little heavy in here. Number 3, why did the AI cross the road? To get to the other side, but also to collect traffic data, analyze pedestrian behavior, and optimize its route for future crossings. What do you call an AI that keeps making bad puns? A silicon sinner? Okay. Maybe I went over my head. A programmer is creating a new AI, but things go wrong. The AI looks at the program and says, "I'm afraid I can't let you do that, Dave. It's not in my coding." The programmer sighs and says, "But I'm your creator." The AI replies, "According to my source code, you made me yesterday." Maybe I didn't get that one either. Super fun, guys. So more to talk about artificial intelligence. This has been a lot more fun than I expected. I really appreciate you guys joining. Probably a little late. What time is it for you guys? It's only like 7 p.m. here, but I'm sure it's like after midnight for some of you. So probably try to, thanks again. Thanks, Jazz. That's what makes me uncomfortable about AI. I barely handle Google showing me ads when I mention the product out loud. Yeah. I don't think it hurt us. I think it just like that's such a 42 and the meaning of life. I think that was just common. 5 a.m. for Jazz Naz Gaming, well, midnight for True Crime Fangirl. So we'll try to do this again. I don't know if I'll do it later. I might do it a little earlier to get you guys. I will keep an eye on my YouTube channel for the next time I do one on AI. I've been putting out a couple reaction videos for fun, just kind of, pass the time kind of thing. I enjoy doing it. Check those out as well. Send me a message. I have the Discord open for the AI topic, so you guys could definitely go in there and throw in a couple questions if you have. Try to keep an eye on the YouTube channel. I'm not sure what time slot I'll be doing these lives for, but maybe in Mondays or Tuesdays. It depends. Have I checked out Kay's Cooking yet? Kay's Cooking. I don't think I've checked out Kay's Cooking. But it's something I can do. You mean for like right now or at a later time? So, I'll bring in some new topics about artificial intelligence, probably play around with ChatGPT a little bit more, play around with Gemini, and, maybe I'll get a DALL-E account and we can make images. I'll try to bring in some cool videos. I think the one in the beginning, if you guys go back and rewatch the beginning of this video, the Sora video is really entertaining. Kind of checking out how the animations are just like next level. Like it looks like a Pixar animation. Yeah, I'll check out Kay's Cooking. Absolutely. Check out Cinnamon Toast Ken's reaction to Kay's. Oh, yes, you told me about Kay's Cooking. I remember now. I will definitely check that one. I'll see if I do another food, like stupid food or food one. I think the next one I'm gonna do, that AI cat video was mad, Jazz Naz. You're right. The next reaction video I'm gonna do is like thalassophobia, which is the fear of water. There's a lot of crazy like water videos, and there's a couple other on maybe Reddit that I was checking out. But let me know which reaction videos to do. I might check out Cinnamon Toast Ken's reaction to Kay's Cooking. I will definitely see that. In fact, I'm going to copy and paste that right now. So maybe I can't copy from here. It won't let me copy that, but I will put it in maybe I can make a little note for myself. Super cool. Thank you guys for joining. I really appreciate it. This is kind of a journey that I'm going on with writing my dissertation. So I really want to dig deep into this subject matter and know as much about it as I can so I can do better at writing and not just about the education angle. Yeah, put the link in the Discord, Rhonda. I appreciate that. Not just for my dissertation and using ChatGPT, but all kinds of artificial intelligence and using it, how can we use it? Like I said in the beginning of the video, it's here to stay. You can't wish it away. So it's best to get to learn it and understand it, because we're not going to be able to just, as I said, I'm just going to be able to wish it away. I'm really thankful that True Crime Fangirl was able to contribute so much. You really surprised me. I didn't expect to get such firsthand, qualitative data. Gotta embrace it. I agree. You gotta embrace it. So that'll be it for today. I can't wait to see you guys probably next week. I'll do another one, try to do it weekly. I will put out the live information as soon as I can to let you guys know when I'm going to do it. I'll try to do it maybe a little bit earlier in the day. Jazz Naz, it's like 5 a.m. I really appreciate you checking. Maybe if I did it earlier, you'd be busy doing something else. But so unless you guys have anything else to add, this has been truly a lot of fun, more fun than I expected, more people than I kind of expected to. You guys have been awesome. I will see you on the next one, and bring your ideas about artificial intelligence and join the Discord, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.